Good. Okay, so our last session has actually a nice tie-in to the student aspect here. Our session chair here is You Xiaojian. He's with the China Social Innovation Foundation. He's a senior manager at the Center for Sustainable Global Enterprise at the Johnson School of Management at Cornell University, one of the country's premier business schools. There's a lot of important things we could tell you about him, but let me tell you that he got his bachelor's degree from the Beijing Institute of Technology, and also, very importantly, and Master's of Business Administration right here at the University of Michigan. Very good. He's also the founder of the Chinese Entrepreneur Network, which you've seen flashing a thank you slide. And one of the things I'm always impressed with is when somebody starts something and it actually is able to continue when they depart. And so that's fantastic. Again, thank you to CEN for all your help with the conference. And Xiaojian, we're honored to have you here to chair the last session.
Could you help me? Launch the slides. Come up. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks, Mark, for a nice, kind introduction. Also, I really appreciate the University of Michigan host this great event. So I think this is a very important topic for U.S.-China and collaboration in sustainability. So you can look at the title of this panel. It's Delivering on the Promise of Sustainability, the challenge for 21st century business. So it's about a business strategy, business challenge for sustainability. Also, I'd like to take some time to introduce our panelists here. Beside me, we have two wonderful panelists here. So first one I'd like to introduce is Mr. Gab Wing. So Gab is the Senior Environment Manager for a company, Herman Miller Incorporation. So Gab joined Herman Miller in 2001 and provides the technical leadership for design for the environment, which is responsible for developing environmentally sensitive design standards based on the principle of cradle to cradle and the life cycle assessment. And Gab has created an environmental material database that enables his company engineers to specify the most sustainable materials for new product design. So from 2002 to 2010, and the Gab served as a member of the Materials and Resource Technical Advisory Group, Chemistry Roundtable, which is charged with the promotion of green chemistry for sustainable economic development and the protection of public health. So thank you, Gab. Glad to have you here. Next one, I'd like to introduce my good friends Mr. Jim Mao. Jim is the president of the Advanced Energy Group in Ann Arbor, Michigan. So it's a local company. AEG is an environmentally based technology implementation company that also assists in getting funding and financing for alternative energy and energy conservation projects. AEG is the marketing representative for a company called Harding Geothermal and 14 other companies in the field of renewable energy and energy conservation. AEG's primary focus is on the programs for cities, counties, and other district-wide programs delivering multiple local energy resources to help provide new long-term community wealth. So Jimmy was recently a featured presenter at the International District Energy Association, a conference in Miami, which he presented a case study of AEG projects. So welcome. Thank you for you two to make it. So now I'd like to talk a little bit about this we still have 1.5 hours, the kind of session, closing session. This session, I will do the first presentation for the topic in business strategy and value creation model from the academic applied research point. Then we will have the gap to the second presenter for a design for environment. And also Jim will do the third one for some US-China collaboration for local small media company in the United States, how they can have the opportunity to go to China for business opportunity. Also the challenge they face here for small media technology company, how to implement clean technology. So I'd like to start my presentation first. So you can look at the title of my presentation, Green Leap Strategy for Next Generation Sustainable Enterprise. I think there's some concept here I will follow up to explain. Green Leap Strategy, what's that? Also the sustainable enterprise, these concepts. And first, I'd like to look at the challenge today. Before I talk these slides, I'd like to ask a question to the audience here. So how many people believe that today is one of the most important time for human history? So could you raise your hand if you say yes? I think it's not so many, but I will justify for that. I will let you know why it's the most important for human history. So here you can see this book title. I use this book. The author for this book is Professor Stu Hart, and he's my colleague at Cornell University. So his title is Capitalism at Crossroads. But from my understanding, this is not just capitalism also. It doesn't matter what country, what kind of ideology you have. The entire world and we together are at a crossroad right now today for the sustainability challenges. So I like to thank some kind of very pioneer thinker around the world. The first one I like to mention is the Professor C.K. Prahat. Professor C.K. Prahat was a professor at the University of Michigan. He joined with Professor Stu Hart to create a new strategy. It's called a base of pyramid strategy. This strategy tries to understand how the business strategy can help the poverty alleviation, also make a next generation business growth. The next one we all familiar is Muhammad Yunus. So he's very famous for microfinancing in Bangladesh. Also, his ideas promoted social business and for future capitalism. Again, Professor Stu Hart, Green Leap strategy is kind of proposed from Professor Stu Hart. So it's a very strategy looking for a future for business strategy to serve the society. So I think this is kind of justified for my first question to our audience here. Why are we living in one of the most important time? I think this equation is 1970. It's not new, so it's already around. It comes from industrial ecology. So it's iPad equation here. So the impact is the function of the population and affluence and the technology. So I think if you work in this environment and sustainability, probably familiar this equation, but it's very easy to understand. So we try to satisfy such population with such kind of living standard based on the technology we use. So it's kind of simple, you can understand for that. But you will first fact, the population, I think we all understand, in 1950s, we only have like 2.2 billion population. But today, 60 years after, we have 6.8 billion. So that never changed in human history. It's the first time happened. The population growth is so fast in human history. And also, if you go to look next 30 years to 2040, we will have 2 billion more people added to the planet. So that's a huge pressure to the environment. And if you look another trend, it's the living standard improvements. In past decades, we know in China, India, emerging markets, also in the kind of developing countries, we have been enjoying so many years economic growth. So living standards continue growing, improving. So this both fact we see is going up. Then come to the kind of pressure to the environment, to our kind of natural system. But if you look at technology, I think you all will agree, we're still in the phase of industrialization. The technology we use to satisfy our needs, satisfy our living system, so we still based on industrial technologies. So we cannot, for the next 30 years, we cannot afford to continue to do this. We already I like the idea, some panels talked yesterday about the natural balances. So we already broke in our natural balances. But if we continue to do the same way for the next 30 years, we'll get worse. We'll have trouble. So this is time to change. Everybody here and everyone working in this field, I think you understand, this is a time we need to make a breakthrough. I heard a lot of talking for these 2 days, about new technology, different industrial area. So we have incremental improvement. We also saw a lot of disruptive technologies. So that's give us hope for changing the equation here. So if we can work with technology quickly to be sustainable, then we can very fast decrease our impact to the ecosystem. So if we go 10 times fast, 20 times, and 40 times fast, so that gives us hope. We can continue our human history, but it has to happen right now for next decades. So that's introduce the business opportunity for the 21st century, for sustainable enterprise. Next one, I'd like to look at another way to help us think about challenge for business today. Because cooperation is a kind of new, it's not a very old idea to human history. Humans have a market to trade goods since we have human on Earth. But cooperation, it's only about 500 years history. So if you look at the 17th and 18th centuries, so we have a chartered corporations. This corporation is kind of instruments for the imperialism and have the monopoly power. The good example is called the East Indian Company. I think if you look at history, you'll know about it. Then we have come to the new idea, think lead, Adam Smith, and promote the free market and free enterprise. Now we'll gradually encourage the innovation and competition. Now we'll generate much livelihoods and the wealth for the nation and to satisfy human needs. So then we come to this type of cooperation, industrial cooperation. So this cooperation try to serve the master needs in the master market for consumerism. It's free market and a free competition. So it go with the social Darwinism principles, I will say. So this is 19th and 20th century. Then we have many issues for the last 200 years. So we have social issues. We have environment problems. So these things, we come to next generation cooperation. So that's a sustainable enterprise idea here. It's a bottom up. We need to serve the people living in the bottom. And we also solve the social issues and environmental problems. So I think that history review will give you some idea. So we are in a time for transformation, for business also. So next I will talk a little bit about what is sustainable enterprise. How do business and sustainability go together? So I think we have put a different business practice for sustainability in different categories here. The type 1 category is, we all know, is environmental management. So this practice includes regulation, voluntary regulation, ISO 14001, design for environment first, early phase, life cycle, pollution prevention, environmental reporting, and the risk management. So this business practice it's go to the function in the corporation. It's law and legal and policy environment, environmental health and safety, and operations. Then you can see that perspective for understanding sustainability is more like a regulation for a company. Then company strategy to respond to that, it's the comply and influence the policy and the policy enforcement. Then we come to next type 2 business practice for sustainability. We all know it's the CSR, corporate social responsibility. So in CSR, we have seen a lot of practices, social auditing, and social accountability 8,000 standard, and work safety, philanthropy, community relationships, and the CSR reporting. This practice always go to the functions in the corporation, public relationships, human resource, and corporate foundations. Then the perspective for sustainability here is more like public opinions for the company. Then the strategy goes to this corporation for CSIs, communicate and influence dialogue and narratives. So now we come to the third one. It's coming, I think it's very important today to come to sustainable enterprise, a business practice. We can see the entrepreneurship in this category, innovation, organizational change, and the new business development. So the difference you can see is all these functions, all these activities, is go to the core function of the companies. So that's what we want a business opportunity, business strategy to really pay attention in the core business for sustainability. So you see it go to R&D department, and goes to the strategic management, also finance and the investment. So what's the prospect here? Sustainability is the future business opportunity for companies. And the strategy for companies is to try to do the pilot project, do experimentation for new technology, new business model. Also have tried to change the incentives and the rewards, and try to build a private and public partnership. So I hope this kind of 3 category will give you kind of new framework. You can look at today's business practice for sustainability. Different level, it's go deeper. So we like to corporation really go to their core strategies, core function, and think about sustainability as a business opportunity. So I just review here. You can see the shifting for folks. Environmental management, comply with law and the regulations. Corporate social responsibility, CSR, is be a good corporate citizen. And the sustainable enterprise is trying to create a new product and service. And I want to make it right is here. Everything is important. Doesn't mean which one is good or bad. Everything is important. Yeah, environment management is important. CSR and the core business in the sustainable enterprise. So what kind of force is driving these changes for the shifting focus for executive managers? And my answer to that is the value creation in today's new reality. So I know we can see that humans keep solve the problem, but create a new problem. So that's why we keep have a new reality happening every day, every time, every generations. So, but in the new reality, we can see the value creation system is shifting also. So what's the new reality today? I like to use this quote from Tom Friedman. So we have arrived at a time of the great disruption, when both Mother Nature and the Father Grid hit the world at the same time. So I think this is a very good quote for today. We have a financial crisis happening 2 years ago. Also, we have other long-lasting issues, poverty, environmental issues. We have new issues. So we are in the time to take action right now. So next one, I would like to introduce this very good framework. Yeah, you can put your company, when you do academic research, you can see the business different activities, can put them in these 2 dimensions, 4 quadrants. So you can see the vertical one is the kind of time vertical dimensions, today and tomorrow. Also you see the left-hand, right-hand side is the internal and external to look at the business practice for sustainability. We also understand for business very simple. You have revenue and you minus your cost and you make profits. That's the most important question for business. So we can put everything we did today for business kind of practice in this kind of framework. So there's a lot of kind of items here we see. You can look at the today and the internal quadrant. So we try to improve today's kind of productivity, reduce cost, and reduce risk. But if you look to external and today, we try to establish reputation and the right to operate. So, but we like to talk with company to look at tomorrow and the future markets. So what you can do for look at the future markets? That's the shared vision of the future with the society. Then come up with the internal strategy for business for tomorrow. So how you implement clean technology, eco-effectiveness, leapfrog technology, so such things. So you can see the internal today, we are trying to increase productivity, incremental change and continual improvement. And look tomorrow and the internal, we are trying to exploration for opportunities, also disrupt innovations, and facilitate self-destruction, and increase the discovery for future. And look at the external and today, much about the information dissemination. It uses the convergent thinking, and we try to be transparent and stakeholder management. And tomorrow, future markets, we can see we try to framing opportunities for future business. We use divergent thinking, diverse perspective, and stakeholder leaderships. So this is kind of framework I think is very helpful when you look at your company, your business, how you position your corporation for the future. So I like to talk, besides like the framework, next one I like to talk, what's the roadmap? How to face these two daunting challenges without trade-off? One is the environment, one is the social poverty. So this is very kind of, I think, a very useful picture to understand the two challenges here. First one is the environmental challenge. We kind of, both sides, social and environment, hit the wall. So what kind of strategy can help us get out? You look at, after clean technology gave us hope. For the last 10 years, we see a lot of capital go to the clean technology. Many new technology come from the lab, R&D research. We also very glad to see the University of Michigan, the business school, have a new business strategy for base of the pyramid. Try to leverage a business strategy to solve the social issues, social inequality, and social poverty. So let's go next step. I think Professor Stillhart made a good argument here. These two different worlds, they don't talk each other. They just solve their problem, try to help. So if you look at clean technology world, a lot of technology folks, environmental as a driver, but they forgot about social issues, how to solve the social problems. And if you look at the strategy for base of pyramid community, they always focus on the new business model creation and poverty as a driver. But if that happens, everybody living like us today, well, so that's a problem for us. So it makes sense to us to pull them together, to build a bridge for them together, to have this great convergence. So that's the new strategy called the Green Leap strategy. So I show several slides here. You can see these strategies come to 2008. And we have some kind of activity in the international conference to talk with different industry and business world to share launch some project. So this is the 2009 Cornell Global Forum on Sustainable Enterprise. You can see the closing session here picture. Professor Stewart with the Al Gore and Fix Johnson, the chairman of the IC Johnson, and Ryan Tata is the chairman of the Tata Group. Also, you see Professor Stewart is in 2009 Clinton Global Initiative annual meeting. He's hosting a topic. His topic is leader for harnessing innovation for development. So the strategy go to detail. I think you look at this pyramid. Today we still have like 4.5 million people living under $3. I think. Yes, the number here is $3,000 per year. So this is a huge market for business. So I don't want to go to detail because time issues here. So I think kind of argument here is this is a new potential market. It's massive growth, underserved needs here. Also, it's disrupt innovation. It's a perfect site for incubate disrupt innovation for sustainable technology. Also, you can enjoy the competitive preemption, breeding ground for next generation growth scale competitors. Another concept I think here, when you look at clean technology, I want you to aware about these two different categories of green technology. First one is we categorize as green giant, large scale, centralized. It's kind of capital intensive, central planned, top down kind of methodology. So we can see like this example is solar farmers, and the big wind, smart grid, nuclear, clean coal, and the water plants. I think this picture, a lot of Americans familiar with that green giants. But I really like to, my point here is green giants is very important. We need more green giant projects fast. But also we don't want to ignore the green spot technology. This is another type of technology, very disruptive, very kind of different from the green giants. So it's distributed at small scale, and the on-site solution is labor intensive, self-organizing, localized, bottom-up. So you can see like decentralized solar, small wind, fuel cell, microturbines, small hydro, point-of-use waters. So this type of green spot technology is very disruptive. So this is two types. I think for the industrialization 200 years, we always look for economic of scale. So we like to go to the green big project, enjoying the scale, economic of scale. But we see the decentralized solution has a lot of good features in these solutions. They can solve a lot of social issues, political issues even, a lot of cultural issues. So I don't want to go detail, but I wanted to share with you, so you can think about this. It's two types of technologies. But we have been too long ignore the green spot technology. So we think for the entire community, entire world need to pay attention to them, to have capital, have R&D research on them, to really move this green spot area. So you can see the next generation technology coming out for last kind of decades. So a lot of opportunity, hope for us. But the issue in the commercialization for this clean technology is we always like to go to the top-down kind of approach. So this is kind of dilemma here, because we think that the top of the pyramid has a lot of money. So you can buy this kind of expensive technology. But when you try to scale out, you will hit a wall. It's hard to compete with incumbent technology. They don't need incumbent with unsustainable technology. They don't count the environmental cost. They don't count the social cost. So we also have the problem with the top-down approach. But Greenleaf is kind of taking another kind of a roadmap. So you go to the base opportunity first. So you can, like example here, in China, you know the Haimin Solar. It's very popular in the rural market. It's very popular in the underserved communities. Xingli electric bike. Also, GE has very good example, ultrasonic for rural healthcare. So when you have this technology development and nurtured in the base of the pyramid market, then you have an opportunity to trickle up. Example is GE Ultrasonic. They try to serve the China's rural markets, so the price go down very quickly. But when they finish that project, come to the United States because it's a low-cost solution. So it's very popular here. So it creates a big market in the United States. So this is very good for leapfrog technology, lift the economic system in the BOP, incubate tomorrow's industry, trick up, and in GE they call it reverse innovation. So let's go talk about topic of China. I travel China a lot, yeah, so for the last 2 years. So I like to travel to west of China because that's the underserved area, has a lot of opportunities for next generation technologies. I cross the red line here, you can see the west part of China. It's a huge market there. And we still have like 600 to 700 million rural people living in rural area. In the future, we have like 200 to 300 million people will migrate to the urban area, some kind of small town, small city. And China has the government strategy called China West Development. So for last kind of 5 years, west part of China is growing very fast. So this is an opportunity for US and China to create a mutual prosperity. So China has a massive market right now thanks to last 3 decades economic growth. Also China's capital, very rich capital in China market right now. So China has a challenge to lift the base of a pyramid. But US, we're still very good in the innovation and technology R&D. We still have a lot of entrepreneurships here. We need job creation in the United States. So if we put this strategy together, the Green Leap strategy, I think we believe this is the win-win strategy to unite the US and China in the coming decades to face world daunting challenges. So a little bit picture here, you can see our Green Leap China initiative. So we created a new center in Tsinghua University for this research. This is just last month. We have a conference, joint conference, Tsinghua and Cornell conference in Tsinghua for 100-year ceremony in Tsinghua University. Today we have 4 pilot sites. We are in the selection phase right now for 4 pilot sites in China. One is in the Shandong province, Shanxi, and Chengdu and Guiyang. So we're still in the phase for selection right now. Once we finish the pilot selection, we will launch the pilot project in China. So we like to academic research and also the business to join us, to join these Green Leap pilots. So this is, we will establish a multiple sector partnership, including both the private and the public, and to encourage pilot business experimentation and implement the Green Leap strategies here. So you will get in this pilot will support from government, academia, and it's low risk because it's small, it's town size, and also has a high potential for scale out to incubate the next generation green technology and the sustainable enterprise. Last slide, I'd like to share this kind of institutes I engaged to. So first one is the Johnson School, Cornell University, the Center for Sustainable Global Enterprise. We have initiatives around the world to promote entrepreneurship and disrupt innovation for sustainability. China Social Innovation Foundation, I co-founded this foundation. We try to help the US and China to facilitate some communication and technology commercialization. Enterprise for Sustainable World is led by Professor Stuart Hart, based in Ann Arbor here. So I try also do the Green Leap strategy work for sustainability. I also like mention here, right-hand side, the CEN. I think we all know CEN today. We have many students in CEN chapter here today to help this event. So I'm very proud of you. So thank you for your hard work. This is my contact information. I think if you want to talk with me, also join our pilot project to try the disrupt innovation. So we welcome you. So that's my presentation here. Thank you very much. So for next, I like to take like 3-4 questions for any question you have. Then we move next, present, and then at the end we have like a joint, we join together, have like about 10 minutes Q&A session. So any question you want to raise here? Yes, please.
May I ask, what's the concept of sustainability in China in terms of entrepreneur business development? Is it the same type of definition we are using in the US in that regard?
Many kind of exploration for what is sustainability. I think internationally we have like a definition from the international community. But for me, I like to say this way, maybe make it easy to understand. I just said human always like to solve a problem, also create another problem. So for easy to say sustainability, you solve a big problem, but only you create a less small problem. So that's kind of sustainable we can going forward. But for business, I think they would like to take this sustainability as an opportunity. How the business strategy, business products, and business service can really satisfy human needs, but also has a less impact, or even improve the ecosystem. So that's, I think, for business concept to look at sustainability. I like to raise an example here, maybe help a little bit understand that. We know a company in China, in Jiangsu province, is a red bud textile company. This company used the jute for clothes, for clothing. So they plant the jute in the western land. The good future for the jute is when you plant like 5 to 6 years, the western can be changed to a good land for agriculture. So this type of technology for business, you're not just satisfy the human needs for clothing, other stuff, but you also improve the ecosystem. So I think that's in my slides here, we want to make technology change to the sustainable technology. But business is more focused on the commercialization. So we already talked about these 2 days, many technology, different industry, water, green building, energy, a lot of technology. But I talk with many experts in technology side, say, how can we make it in the markets, really make the impact? So this is the way for business, like business school and companies think about what's the commercialization approach so we can fast commercialize this technology. I think current social context has a lot of incumbent resistance. That's the problem we see. We talk about it so many years, but still doesn't see the picture we like. But I think disruptive innovation gives us hope. We don't want to directly hit the incumbent interests, but we can smartly go to BOP markets to incubate this mature technology first. Then you trick up to the top of markets. That way you make the transformation. So I think that's the smart way to do it. I don't know, I answer your question, I think. Thank you. Any question? Okay, go ahead.
On the slide, we will try to describe the possible China-United States cooperation on green technology.
Mm-hmm.
The capital is, I was amazed that the capital is on China's side. Give some more detail or difference on your.
Yeah, that's kind of, usually people think the United States should have more capital in developing country. But I think a couple of reasons. First, China has been growing for 3 decades already. So it's already accumulated a lot of kind of capital for investment in different technology. If also another thing, you look at the government spending. Government have like 70%, 60-70% GDP spending in China. So government has a lot of investment capital. They just need to make decision what area to invest. I also like say, I don't know, but this is not my expertise area, the fund for finance. When you travel to China, you talk with business person, or you talk with government officials, you always can see they are, first question is looking for technology. They will ask you, where is the good technology I can bring to my province, bring to my high-tech park? So that's the first question. Then they will see, do you have capital? They like to private capital to invest in like local. But government is I think government is Chinese government, local and the central government is very generous. They will match the funding, will provide early funding to help the technology really have demonstration, also help the initial setup for operation, and then you can grow up by yourself. So I think China, also you look at recently some international conference, I think, for top entrepreneurs in China, they start to come to United States and Europe also to travel here to understand the United States economy, try to look for technology, for business opportunity for investment. Yeah, I met some of them and talk with them. Yeah, that's the trend happening right now. So I think if you look at also one case I think may be interesting here is the JTE company. In Chinese we call 中兴电子, 中兴通信. I have a friend there, they just launched a venture and PE capital fund for clean technology. So their industry is not kind of clean technology, it's telecommunication. But I think last year they launched a fund for clean technology. They have office in the United States. They're looking for technology. So that's the trend happening right now. I would say not just Chinese capital, but entire world capital can take opportunity, US-China collaboration to create a market, create a new business. So I think for next 10 years, this model will continue. China markets, Chinese capital and international capital, and also the US technology and the technology from advanced countries. Yeah, I think that's the trend in next 10 years. Okay, I think we're a little bit out of time. I need to be fair here to my panelists. So I will move to the next, our panelist, Gab. So welcome, Gab.